when I tell you. This is the second, well, technically the third time I try to start this video, because the first time I did it on the computer and the computer ate the whole thing. The second time my husband interrupted me with a phone call, and now here we are. So let's talk about why am I filming this video. Welcome, bienvenidos. This is Roxana from Metamorphosis Rocks, and today we're trying something a little different. I have my phone on a unit that I bought for filming things like on a table and whatnot, but you can move the head to so it points wherever you want. And this has been an interesting journey. If you were here yesterday, we did a live stream where I talked about, what happened was, I did a live stream yesterday where I talked about the fact that I was going to do some shorts because I was going to take you on a journey through the move. We are moving from this apartment to a bigger apartment, more comfortable apartment, and we're saving some money in the process, which is one of the things that I mentioned during that video is that I had been on this particular channel for 9 years. And then I did a little research and found out that it's actually been 10 years. This is the year where it's the 10th anniversary. Now, the video that I found, the oldest video that I found is a number 3 out of a series that I started back in those days. It was completely different content, so I'm not going to, I think they're all in private or something like that. But the reality is that I did start on 2015. Which means this year is the 10th year anniversary. So I decided I wanted to share some bits of knowledge that I gained along the way, some truths, some funny stories, whatever, all the stories about all those 10 years and what has that done for me, positive and negative. And today I decided I wanted to start with something that I also mentioned on the live stream. And it is this whole concept of forgive and forget. Now, if you've been here for a while, you know that I've had some interesting experiences, but I have always said to you guys, you do understand that this happens in real life. And what I mean by that is you have haters in real life just as much as you have them on social media. It doesn't matter if you have a small account or big account, if you have hundreds and thousands of people who love you or just 5. You will have somebody that doesn't like you, that's pretending to like you. For whatever reason, it's their issue. And the reality is that one of the things that I've always said about this whole thing, whether it bothers you or not, and I am the first one to admit that, yes, it did bother me. I handle it horribly. I tanked my channel on purpose because I dealt with it so horribly. I got terrified of what these people were saying and doing. And so that was the first lesson I learned, is you need to shut them off. But the reality is that this is projection. And I'm not talking about when you know somebody and it is a known fact that this person is good or bad, or that person doesn't jive with you and you have an opinion about that. It could be projection. It could just be, it is about you at the end of the day. Your reaction to a person is about you. It's not about them, is what I'm trying to say. Now, there are certain occasions in which it isn't necessarily about you, because, for example, if you have a big famous celebrity that is accused of a crime and they are found guilty of the crime, and we find out, we have them on video or something like that, your reaction to that is legitimate because you're basing it on facts. But for the most part, especially when it comes to strangers on the internet, whatever reaction you have to a person is about you. And for the most part, when people are talking about you on social media, it's projection. And I'm going to give you a very simple example that I used a long time ago when this first started, because I was so baffled, I thought it was funny. There were people on the internet talking about the fact that they've known me for years, okay, that added siblings to my life that I don't have. Now, I come from a family of 6, and that includes my mom and my dad. And there's only 2 people left in that family. I'm one of them. And so to hear people talk about how they know me, but they claim that I have 2 sisters, impossible. When they talk about certain other things that happened in my youth, they don't have the towns right. Some of them have me living in the States. I did not move into the States until much later than that. Some people have mentioned schools that I went to that I didn't go to. It's just really crazy what things people will say. And the reality is, I don't know why, because I'm not famous. I'm nobody. I'm not nobody with a camera. But for some reason, they felt the need to add all these stories to what is now the lore of this nobody here that just wants to make some videos and make some people laugh or think or entertain people. And so I found that very interesting, actually very fascinating, to be honest with you, that people will create all this rhetoric around me. And the reality is that the reactions to me were all about them. They were not about me. But because I've always been one of these people that wants everybody to like them, I took it personally. And that was my first mistake. My second mistake is that I carried that hurt for a very long time. I was bullied as a child. I was bullied as an adult. And for some reason, I carried that on. And this Christmas was very interesting to me for many reasons. But the number one reason is because it was a very weird Christmas. For reasons that I'm not going to get into on this video, I was already not feeling it. I didn't feel it on my birthday. You guys know my birthday's in November. I make a big deal out of it. And I kind of sort of, yeah, my birthday's coming. But it wasn't like I usually go insane for my birthday. I did Halloween, but the only good thing about Halloween is that they let us dress up at work. So that was fun. But I was not really into it. And of course, after the election, I was even more like, I don't care. Christmas, my family tried to do the best they could, but I was just down. I was feeling very down. And right around New Year's Day, I started thinking about all of these things and all of these people. And I said, you know, the only way you can move on with your life after a process like this one is if you truly just forgive them and move on. And keep in mind that when you apologize to somebody, it's all about you. You are apologizing because you want to clean your soul or feel better about yourself or make amends or whatever. So it's all about you. Nobody has to accept your apology. Let me be very clear about that. Trying to shame people into accepting apologies, I can't believe we have to say this in 2025, but you don't shame people into accepting apologies. People have their own hurts that they have to deal with, and they have to process that. Having said that, when you decide to forgive somebody, regardless of whether or not an apology was extended, which in this case, there's no apology extended. I'm just forgiving all these people because I want them out of my head. The pain that some of these people caused me lived with me for a long time. And when I started trying to post content again last year, I did notice some of these people came back to leave their hate on the page. And once I took care of that, and I'm not going to get into the specifics, but once I took care of that issue, I realized that I wanted to move on, and I have to forgive those people because clearly they have some sort of issue with me that no amount of me talking to them or trying to get into their psyche and try to figure out why they hate me so much is going to do anything for them. I am moving on. Now, if you were here yesterday, you know that I was jokingly talking about bringing drama back, but the simple drama, like the worst thing that could happen is that Patrick Star did somebody at a meet and greet, or one that I actually have evidence of is a big makeup guru whose merchandise is now being sold at thrift stores. And I got the inside scoop on that one. And so the reality is that I want to go back to, if I ever do another drama video, I want it to be something funny, something silly. We have gone so serious. We're not reporters. Why are we going into these serious matters that we know nothing about, except for maybe our own experience? And I don't have a problem with people talking about their experience. The issue that I'm finding with some of the people that are talking about their experience is that they then move on to color every person based on that experience. And sometimes I have to agree with them. Yeah, that person looks very suspect. But most of the time, they're just so, they have colored their experience in a way, they have put their experience in a way, they haven't done the work, or whatever it is, you know, they just want to hold on to that hurt or whatever. Listen, I was in that place for a very long time, so I'm not going to sit here and tell people that they have to get over it. They will get over it when they get over it, but that doesn't mean I'm going to have to watch them and I have to subject myself to that. But one of the things that I have noticed is that they color everything based on that experience. Now, I don't know if I do that. I don't think I do. But the reality is I want to go back to the days when we were just joking about people, that, whether they're famous or not. One of my favorite contents to do is grab a tweet and just go ham on it because I think it's funny or stupid or whatever. And I had lost that love for that. And I want to go back to that. So if that's something that interests you, and by the way, I'm not going to do drama all the time. I'm not interested in doing drama all the time. But every once in a while to make it funny, you know what I mean? I wouldn't mind talking about, I don't know, what these people wore to the Golden Globes. I have not seen any of the videos. Don't ask me because I don't know. I just want to have some fun. I just want to go back to the days when this was just supposed to be fun. The original purpose of the channels, and I have a channel, Aviddiva, and I started that channel, and yes, I did look, in 2009, which is when I actually entered social media because my original Twitter account is from 2009 as well. My sole purpose when I started posting for the public, because the first video on that channel is for the family, but my sole purpose in posting content was because I wanted to learn how to do all this. I wanted to learn how to edit. I wanted to learn all these techniques, and because I really love this. I love coming and sharing my opinions or sharing something I found that is really interesting or crazy or whatever. And I had lost that love and that passion, and I want it back. So if that's something that you want to talk about with this Gen Xer right here, just sit around and wait for the next video, and keep an eye on shorts because I am posting shorts, and today I posted the first one on the move. I don't know that I'm going to be able to pull this off. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.